Good morning, class 9 students. Here again I am for the second class of mathematics. Now in the last week I gave you an introduction to trigonometry. So in the introduction to trigonometry we have learned about the right angle triangle, and if this is A, B and C vertices, then if the angle is this one, this is what we call the angle of reference, just a small revision of what we have done last week. If this one is the angle of reference, then opposite to this angle of reference is called perpendicular. 90 degree is here. Opposite side to 90 degree is what is called hypotenuse, and the side which is touching the given angle, angle of reference, and 90 degree is the base. But again, I should also tell you that triangle may be given to you in so many different forms. So now let me make here one triangle which looks a little different. That is, you can see 90 degrees. So let this be A, B and C. Now 90 degrees here, and let us suppose that the angle of reference is angle C. So they will say sine C or a cosec C. So if it is about C, then opposite to this angle of reference, opposite side to this angle of reference, this becomes perpendicular. Whereas 90 degree opposite is, this side becomes hypotenuse, and the side which is touching both 90 degree and angle of reference is what is called base. Now you can see it doesn't mean that base should be on this lower side, should be the lower base. Base can be on the upper side also sometimes. So always keep an eye on the angle of reference. Wherever angle of reference, that will decide perpendicular and base. Yes, hypotenuse is same every time. Hypotenuse opposite to 90 degrees, hypotenuse does not depend on the angle of reference. But your perpendicular and base depends on the angle of reference. Alright, now, since I gave you last time 6 different ratios, trigonometric ratios. Okay, if I do a small revision of that, what we have discussed, then it was sine. Sine any angle. For example, if I am talking about sine C, okay, if the angle is this C in this triangle, then sine formula is perpendicular. Now when I say formula, I mean to say the ratio. What is it? It's the ratio between perpendicular and hypotenuse. Divide this by this. Perpendicular hypotenuse. Then cos C, or if I am talking about the upper angle, let's suppose the angle is B, angle of reference is B, so then I suppose write B. So cos B is base by hypotenuse. Then third one was tan. So again, if I am taking the lower triangle, this triangle, here it is, angle is C. So if I am saying tan C, so for tan, the formula is perpendicular by base. So yes, sine, cos and tan. I might be writing here C, B and C here because I have taken angle of reference as C and B. But if the angle of reference was A, then you know perpendicular and base will change. Now, instead of saying A, B, C, X, Y, Z, sometimes we may also understand the angle of reference by certain Latin alphabets. Let's call it as representation. And most of the time you will come across this symbol. Even in the last week's videos, I had given you some formulas, and then I had given in terms of this symbol. This symbol is what you see. This symbol is what you are going to see. This symbol is what you are going to see. So a lot of such symbols, Latin alphabets is what you are going to see. A representation. Now this is what is called theta. Theta, again, you make a 0 and with a small curve here. This is what is theta, and this symbol is what you are going to see plenty. And theta represents any angle. It may be this angle, it may be this angle, this angle. So they will say, instead of saying sine C, they will say sine theta, or a cos theta, or a tan theta. Theta, again I am repeating, this is what theta. This is beta, alpha. I think you people have heard about alpha, beta, gamma, I think in physics, radioactivity. So this theta is one such angle which you will see plenty here in trigonometry. So sometimes instead of saying A, B, C or X, Y, Z or M, N, O, so I may use symbols, or I may use this word theta. Theta is a representation of an angle. So this angle is theta, or I may write theta here. So this angle is theta. Okay, this I told you to remember something like this. I think 4 different ways I told you to remember. 4 different. Whichever is the easiest for you, which you are more comfortable with, remember the sentence. So it is sine is perpendicular hypotenuse, cos is base by hypotenuse, tan is perpendicular base. So I told you some people have curly brown hair turn permanently black. I repeat again, some people have curly brown hair turn permanently black. Now these are 3. Now the other 3 ratios will automatically come out if you know what is the reciprocal of what. Sine reciprocal is cosec. So cosec C is perpendicular by hypotenuse is what is sine. So since you know that cosec is the reciprocal of sine, so reciprocal means if this is P by H, this becomes H by P. So hypotenuse is perpendicular, P by H, H by P. So you have to only remember, okay, yes, cosec is the reciprocal of sine. So cosec formula becomes H by P. Similarly for cos, it is sec. So if I am going for sec B, since cos is base by hypotenuse, this becomes hypotenuse by base. So B by H becomes H by B. And same way tan is P by B, and this tan is what reciprocal is what is cot. So if tan is P by B, this becomes B by P. Now all questions that we are going to discuss now, the first exercise that we will be taking, you know, we have to use this, the ratio between any two sides of a right angle triangle. And very, very important that you should also know Pythagoras Theorem. In Pythagoras Theorem, you know that it is hypotenuse square is perpendicular square plus base square, sum of the square of perpendicular and base. So h square equal to p square plus b square. Now I am going to use Pythagoras Theorem. I am going to use this formula to solve the question. So you also practice as many as possible. I am going to give you the whole exercise of your book. You will try all questions, every question, whichever question there is a problem. I think maybe in this 1 week before I take the next class, I think I'll give you the solutions for those problematic questions. Okay, so this is it. Now I'm going to start with different questions where I'll be using that. I'll be discussing with you now different questions, different types of questions here from this exercise. I'm starting with question number 1. In this, as you can see, there is a triangle given ABC. This triangle is a right angle triangle because you can see 90 degree here. This side AB is given as 8, no unit. So since we are only taking into account the ratio, so this is what is taken as 8. This is given as 17. The meaning now is 17 is opposite to 90 degrees. So 17 is the hypotenuse. There is no doubt about it. 17 is the hypotenuse. But 8 may be perpendicular or it may be base, depending upon what is the angle of reference. Because if you see in your question, in some questions it is written B, angle of reference is B, angle of reference of B means this is B, and in some questions the angle of reference is C. So C means this is the angle of reference. Because if the angle of reference is B, then A becomes base. Why base? Because the side which is touching 90 degree and the angle of reference, this side is what is base. Whereas if the angle was C, if the angle of reference is C, then opposite to the given angle of reference C, opposite to the angle of reference becomes perpendicular. So in that case, this 8 becomes perpendicular. So that is what I wanted to tell you, that base and perpendicular keeps on changing. It depends on the angle of reference. So accordingly, in case where the angle of reference is B, then 8 becomes base. But if the angle of reference is C, then that 8 becomes perpendicular. Alright. Before I start, you can see I took a very simple diagram where only one triangle. So you will have only one hypotenuse, one perpendicular and one base. Now you can see out of the 3, hypotenuse, consider this as base or perpendicular, whatever you like, because our angle of reference can be anything. I want to use now Pythagoras Theorem. So in Pythagoras Theorem, if you like, 8 can be taken as perpendicular. If you like, you can take it as base also. It really doesn't matter, because I want to find out what is AC. That missing side of this triangle AC is what I want to find out. Now to find out this missing side AC, I need to use Pythagoras Theorem. Now if I am using the Pythagoras Theorem, it is hypotenuse square is equal to hypotenuse square plus base square. Now since we will be using almost every question, we will be using Pythagoras Theorem. So that's why this hypotenuse square is equal to hypotenuse square plus base square. In the previous class also I discussed, in lower classes also, in class 8 and class 7 also we have discussed, or you know what is Pythagoras Theorem. Now let me tell you a shortcut formula. Remember this, because again and again, rather than converting this, taking one and making it into a subjective formula, so just remember, if you are finding hypotenuse, then see square is there. So if I am removing square one side, the other side I have to put square root. So that means hypotenuse is square root of the square of perpendicular and base. So directly if I want to find hypotenuse, I'll use this formula. Now again, take this also as a formula. So almost every question, I think if you do it for maybe around 4 or 5 questions, then I think this will stay in your mind. In hypotenuse, you have to add perpendicular and base square and find the square root of the two. If you are finding perpendicular, since perpendicular is not the longest side, hypotenuse is the longest side, that's why you have to add. But perpendicular is not the longest one. So to find perpendicular, it is root of hypotenuse square minus base square. So if you are finding perpendicular, you have to subtract base square from hypotenuse because hypotenuse is the longest one. And same way, if you are finding base, then it is root of hypotenuse square minus perpendicular square. So if you are finding base, you have to subtract from the square of hypotenuse. Perpendicular should be subtracted. Square of perpendicular should be subtracted. Here, square of base should be subtracted. So this is a direct formula to find out perpendicular base and hypotenuse when two sides of the triangles are given. If you want to find the third side, then you can use any of this. Okay, now coming back to this diagram now. In this diagram, hypotenuse is given to us. Hypotenuse is 17. And this. Okay, let me take the first angle of reference. If the first angle of reference is B, if the angle of reference is B, this is base. Then I am looking for perpendicular, or AC is perpendicular. This side, what is that if I want to find? I have to find perpendicular. There's perpendicular. Our perpendicular, which is in fact nothing but side AC of the triangle. This is side AC of the triangle. Perpendicular is equal to, yes, our formula is root of hypotenuse square minus base square. So hypotenuse square minus base square. Now let me see here in the diagram, what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse you know is 17. So here you are, 17 square minus base. Base is what is 8. So it is 8 square. Now let us solve. So root of 17 square is 289. 17 into 17 minus 8 square is 64. Then again further, if you subtract the two, then this is what is 225. And you know that square root of 225 is 15. 15 into 15 is what is 225. Then since now we know perpendicular AC is 15. So AC now we know it is 15. So let me write down here 15. Now I have all the three sides of the triangle. So I know this also, I know this as well as this. Now if I have all the three sides, now I can answer any of the questions which is given now. See, I have taken here 6 trigonometric ratios. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 6 of them. But some angle of reference is B and some angle of reference is C. So you have to be careful. It cannot be A. Angle of reference cannot be A. Now I should tell you why it should not be A or it cannot be A. Because A is 90 degree. It cannot be cos 90 degree. So we will not take that. So other than the 90 degree, it can be B or C. Anyway, that's why here you have B and C. Now, these are simple 6 ratios. But in addition to this 6, you may also have, if I add a question, you may have something like this. Sine square B plus cos square B. Now, how to solve square, that also we'll discuss. In this question only, different type of questions is what we're going to discuss here. Now, since we have now perpendicular base and hypotenuse, now let us solve one by one. The first question which is asked is, what is sine B? So this, sine B. Sine. Now remember that sentence which I gave you. Some people have curly brown hair turned permanently black. What is the formula of sine? I am looking for the formula of sine. Sine is the ratio between which two sides of the triangle? Sine. Some people have P by H. So sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Okay. Now let us see what is the angle of reference. It is B. So since the angle of reference is B, so I have to take this triangle B. So for this angle B, hypotenuse is same. Hypotenuse is not same, 17. But if the angle is this, A becomes base. Yeah, base is that side which touches the angle of reference and 90 degrees. So this is base. Opposite to the given angle. Opposite to 90 degrees is hypotenuse. Opposite to the angle of reference is perpendicular. This is perpendicular. This is base. This is hypotenuse. For angle B. Since our angle of reference is B, okay, then since sine is perpendicular hypotenuse, then for this angle perpendicular is 15 and hypotenuse is 17. So your answer is 15 by 17. See, very, very simple. Now if I am going for the next question, it is cos C. Now cos, what is the formula of cos? Some people have, okay, that was for sine. Curly brown hair, curly was for cos. cos, brown here, so B by H. So it is base by hypotenuse. But again, be careful, the angle now is C. Angle of reference has changed. Previously it was B, now the angle of reference is C. Now the angle of reference is not this. Now the angle of reference is this one, C. The angle of reference is this. Perpendicular is that one. Opposite to the angle of reference is perpendicular. This one is base. Base is after this touches 90 degree and angle of reference. This is base. This is what is hypotenuse. So that means if I am finding cos C with angle of reference as C, then it is base by hypotenuse, and base is 15 and hypotenuse what is 17. So there you are, 15 by 17. Now you must be wondering that how sin and cos is same. Yes, 15 by 17, 15 by 17. They are same because the angles are different. One angle of reference is B, the other angle of reference is what is C. So in this case it came same, but not necessarily that every time it will be same. So it will be something different. Now, going on to the third one, which is just tan B. Okay. Some people have curly brown here. Turn permanently black. Okay. Now our angle of reference has changed again to B. Here is our angle of reference, B. So for B, we need perpendicular. Perpendicular is there, 15. Base is here 8. So it becomes 15 by 8. So since your denominator is smaller than the numerator, usually we convert this into mixed fraction. 8, 1, 8, 7 by 8. So this is what is here, 15 by 8. So that is what is tan B. Again, going on to the next one, D, which is just cot C. For your cot C, again cot. Now you don't have the formula for cot. Now don't say curly brown here. Cot is not for curly. Curly is for cot. Cot is the reciprocal of tan. I told you to remember ter. Cot also has ter, tan also has ter. So if tan is P by B, this is B by P. Opposite. P by B, this is B by P. Okay, let's see. What is our angle of reference? Our angle of reference again has shifted to C. This is our angle of reference. So for this angle of reference, I need base and perpendicular. So base is this one, 90 degree and angle. Base is this, perpendicular is this. So then again, this becomes 15 by 8, which is again 7 by 8, which again came same. Cot and tan came the same because the angle of reference has changed. Then next one is cosec B. So if I want to find cosec B, again I have changed angle. Angle is now this one, not that. Yes. Cosec is the reciprocal of sine. Sine is P by H. So cosec becomes H by P. Okay, now the angle is B. So I need hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is here 17. And I need perpendicular. Opposite to the given angle of reference is perpendicular. Perpendicular is 15, hypotenuse is 17. So this becomes 17 by 15, or you can write 1, 2 by 15 in mixed fraction form. Then next one is, the last one that you have is F is sec B. Sec is the reciprocal of cos. Cos is base by hypotenuse, so this becomes hypotenuse by base. Okay, again our angle of reference is B only. Angle of reference is still the same. So I need hypotenuse, I need base. Hypotenuse is here 17, which will not change, and base. If the angle is this becomes the base. So it becomes 17 by 8, or 2, 1 by 8. This is what is here the 6 ratios. All 6 are there. You can see sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec, and cos. But is you know that angle of reference has changed, in some cases B and in some cases C. Yeah, these are normal questions, very easy ones. The 6 of them. But sometimes you may be given a question also something like this, where they'll say find what is sine square B plus cos square B, or maybe a varieties of question like maybe they'll give you cot square C minus 1 by sine square C. So meaning, now I only want to show you what you do when there is a square. You can see at two places there are squares. There is a sine square B. We call this sine squared B. Cos squared B. Don't say sine B squared. Even though, for example, when you write 2 square, square is for 2. But for trigonometry, if I want to say sine 30 degree whole square, usually we don't write it in this form. Sine 30 whole square we don't write. This square is written here in the middle of this 2. So I have to write sine squared 30. But even though the meaning is the same, whether you do a whole square or you write it here, it means sine 30 value has to be squared. So usually in trigonometry we write square here and not outside, not after the writing of the trigonometric ratio. Okay, now sine B. Let me write down the formula of sine B. Sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Okay, so I'll write now perpendicular hypotenuse. Since there is a square, write the value and you have to square it like this. Plus cos is base by hypotenuse. There you are. You will square that because square. Now angle of reference is B. If the angle of reference is B, I need perpendicular. Perpendicular is 15 and hypotenuse is 17. So there you are, 15 by 17 whole square plus base. Again for angle of reference as B, our base is what is 8. So it becomes 8 by 17 whole square. Now what you do? You will square. Now whole square for both of them. So 15 square is 225 by 289 plus this is 64 by 289. Now if you are taking the LCM between the two. Okay, since I don't have space, let me do it here. Yeah. Now LCM is 289. Then you have 225 plus 64, which will give rise to 289 by 289. When you cancel it, your value is what is 1. So that means that solving part from there is what is coming 1. So this is how you solve questions where only one triangle is present. Now let us see how to solve questions where there are more than one triangle in the same diagram. Now look at this triangle, which in fact that diagram which consists of three triangles. One triangle is here ABP, the other triangle is ABC. But even though there are altogether three triangles, two small ones and one collectively this big one. But I'm marking here 90 degree this side and automatically the other side also becomes 90. That means right angle triangle will find only two. One is here, other one is here. The big one whether it's 90 degree or not, we don't know, it's not marked. Or it might be marked there on the top, it's not marked. So we'll take these two triangles now. Now when more than one triangles are given, before we start solving any of the questions, here sin B means angle of reference is here, tan C means angle of reference is here, and the other one is square one. Take square B minus tan square B. Now before I move on, for both the right angle triangle, because angle of reference are both B and C, I need all the three sides of both the right angle triangles. Okay, let's check. This triangle, here you can see opposite to 90 degree, hypotenuse is there. Then if I am taking angle of reference as B, then base also you know. Then we'll find perpendicular. Yes, fine. So using Pythagoras Theorem, I'll find what perpendicular is. Perpendicular AD is. Then, if you go to this triangle, you know only one side. This from here to here is 16. And neither do you know this hypotenuse opposite 90 degree, nor you know this one. But just now, in this triangle, you have already found what is AD here, perpendicular. Using this, what you have calculated here in this triangle, AD, using this one and 16, you'll use to find the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is calculated, even though you see only one side, but this second side you have already found using this triangle. So using these two sides, you'll find the third side. Alright, before I start solve this question, first let me use Pythagoras Theorem to find these three, whatever missing sides are. So first going for this triangle, in this triangle, base, hypotenuse, perpendicular is missing. So if perpendicular is missing, so I'll use a direct formula which I gave you a little while ago. It is hypotenuse square minus base square. So perpendicular is equal to hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 13 and base is what is 5. So you have 169 minus 25, which is equal to square root of 144, and square root of 144 is 12. So here we go. Our perpendicular is 12. So AD is what is 12. Now going on to the next triangle. So in this triangle, this is 12, this is 16. This 12 we found out just now. 12 and 16. Now we'll find out what is AC. So if I want to find AC, which is the hypotenuse, so there you are. Hypotenuse is equal to root of perpendicular square plus base square. This is the formula for hypotenuse. You have to add, or perpendicular base you have to subtract from the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is equal to perpendicular for this triangle. Perpendicular, if I am taking as 12, it is 12 square plus base is 16 square. So hypotenuse will be equal to 12 square is 144, 16 square is 256. 16 to 16 to 56. So hypotenuse is equal to root of 400. So square root of 400, as you know, is what is 20. So there you go, even this side of the triangle we know. Now, for a double triangle, questions where more than one triangles are given, this is how we have to find. See, for this triangle also now I have all the three sides, and for this triangle also I have all the three sides. Now, it becomes very easy to solve this question. Let's see now. For the first question, they are saying sine B. Now again recollect the formula of sine. Sine is some people have perpendicular by hypotenuse. Our angle of reference is B. So here is our angle of reference. Now don't take the big triangle. You have to take that triangle where angle B is there, and it also has to be a right angle triangle. So I have to take this triangle. In this triangle, if the angle is this, I need perpendicular. Opposite to this given angle is perpendicular. Perpendicular is this one. So perpendicular is 12. And the next thing that I need is hypotenuse. And for this triangle, hypotenuse is 13. So perpendicular is 12 and hypotenuse is 13. So again, for this angle of reference, this small triangle, for this small triangle, opposite to the given angle of reference is perpendicular and hypotenuse is opposite to 90 degrees. So 12 by 13 is the answer to the first one. Now let us see, second question, tan C. For tan C, tan, turn permanently black, P by B. Now, the angle of reference is not this now, the angle of reference is this one now, angle C. And for that, I have to take this triangle, right hand triangle, this one. And for this, if the angle is this, perpendicular is here 12, this is this one, and hypotenuse, I need perpendicular by base. Opposite the given angle is perpendicular, that is what is 12, and base is that side, it touches 90 degree and given angle. Yes, this is what is base, 12 by 16. If I cancel with 4, 4, 3, 4, 4. So there you are, 3 by 4 is the answer to the second one. Third one now. You have sec square B minus tan square B. Now, again, both the angles, angle of reference, they are B. So B means I have to take this small triangle, this one. Sec is a reciprocal of cos. Cos is base by hypotenuse. Curly brown here, B by H is cos. Sec is the reciprocal, so it becomes H by B. So I have to square it. Minus tan is turn permanently black, P by B, squaring of this one. Alright, now since angle is B, but both the angle of reference is B, so I have to take this triangle. And for this triangle, the hypotenuse is 13, base is here 5, so we'll square this. Minus again for the same angle, perpendicular is 12 and base is 5. This also is squared. So as you square this, square is for both the numerator and denominator, 13 is square, 169, 25. Minus this is 144 over 25. So again, taking the LCM as 25, you have 169 minus 144. So if you subtract the two, so this is going to give you 25 by 25. When you cancel, the answer is 1. Simple. This is how you solve questions where there are more than one triangle. Now let us see questions where you may not be given triangles. Rather, the questions may be given just as a value of sine or a cos or a tan. Out of the 6 trigonometric ratio, you may be given the value of any one trigonometric ratio. Now have a look at this question. If cos A, our angle is A, it is not necessary to make a diagram. If you want, you can make a diagram also and do it. If cos A is 3 by 5, then find all other trigonometric ratios. You know that there are altogether 6 trigonometric ratios. Out of 6, 1 is given, then you are asked to find the other 5. You are asked to find sine, you are asked to find tan, cot, cosec, sec. So that is what you have to find. By the way, let me also tell you that the same question may be given in this form also. So if cos A is 0.6, then find all other trigonometric ratios. So you may find this type of question in your book, in the exercise that you are going to do this week. So you may come across cos or a sine like this 0.6. Then fine. Now what you need to do is this decimal can be converted into a fraction, and you know how to convert a decimal into fraction. So there you are, cos A. Since after decimal 1 digit, so I'll write this as 6 by 10. So 6 by 10. So instead of decimal, I got 6 by 10. Then again 6 by 10, common factors go 2, 3, 2, 5. So there you can see cos A is 3 by 5. So I got the same. Cos A equal to 3 by 5. Okay, now let's see. If cos A equal to 3 by 5, find all other trigonometric ratios. Okay, if you like, without making a diagram also you can do, again I am repeating, but I will teach you by making diagram. So since triangles are not given, so let's make a right angle triangle here. I am making one right angle triangle. And since they are saying angle A, so let us write this angle as A. It will be easy for us to mark. So let this be 90. So that is C, and our angle of reference is A. Then, so I have brought it down A. And cos A is 3 by 5. Then cos A is 3 by 5. Now cos A is 3 by 5. Then cos is the ratio between curly brown hair is 3 by 5. That means the ratio between base to hypotenuse is 3:5. Base to hypotenuse, again I am repeating, the ratio between base to hypotenuse is 3 by 5. 3:5. Okay, base. Base is this one, angle is here, 90 degrees here, so base is this. So base is what I will take it as 3. Then hypotenuse is what I will take it as 5. Hypotenuse, opposite to 90 degrees, hypotenuse I will take it as 5. Now in this triangle, now you can see two sides you know, one side is missing. Perpendicular is missing. Then if you want to find perpendicular, like in the previous question, now perpendicular is equal to under root of hypotenuse square minus base square. So hypotenuse is 5, base is what is 3 under the root. So this is 25 minus 9. So we'll give you square root of 16, and that is what is equal to 4. Now we know perpendicular. Now you can write in the diagram perpendicular 4. Now since the angle of reference is A, and every question now you have to take angle of reference as A. Now I have all the three sides of the triangle. Now if I have all the three sides of the triangle, I can easily now find out the remaining 5 trigonometric ratio. Okay, since we know cos, first let me start with sine. Sine, some people have, okay, our angle is this, perpendicular, hypotenuse. There you are, 4 by 5. This is the first one. Cos I don't want to find because already there. Let me go to tan. Tan, turn permanently black, P by B. So for angle A, perpendicular is 4, base is 3. So that is 4 by 3. Mixed fraction 1 by 3. Then second one I got. Now let me go to cosec. Cosec is the reciprocal of sine. If sine is P by S, this becomes S by P. And since the angle of reference for both of them are same, so this P by S means S by P will be exactly opposite. This one was 4 by 5, this becomes 5 by 4, which you can write 1 by 4. Sec A. Sec is the reciprocal of cos. Since cos is 3 by 5, so this becomes 5 by 3. But let's write the formula. Sec is hypotenuse by base, because cos is base by hypotenuse, so this becomes reciprocal, hypotenuse by base. And therefore, this becomes 5 by 3. When you write, you can write this as 1, 2 by 3. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. One more term. We have cot A. Cot A. Cot is the reciprocal of tan. Tan is P by B. This becomes B by P. And since the angle of reference is same, so this is 4 by 3. This becomes 3 by 4. This is what is the third type of question. So where no diagrams were given to you, there was not a single diagram, but you can create the diagram yourself. Do it this way, or if you do it directly, then see, then you have to assume perpendicular, base, hypotenuse. That will go a little lengthy. So better that you make a diagram, rough diagram. So I might have made like, but your diagram must be a right angle triangle, and then hypotenuse, perpendicular, base, angle of reference selected properly, and solve by making a diagram. Again I am repeating, you can do it directly also without making a diagram, but that will go a little lengthy. For example, okay, I'll just tell you now how you have to do without. If cos A is equal to 3 by 5, then cos you know is base by hypotenuse is 3 by 5. Now some of you will prefer to take base is 3, yeah, base is this one, hypotenuse is 5, then find perpendicular. Yeah, this is something which I will not recommend. I will not tell you that base is 3. Ratio between base to hypotenuse is 3:5. Ratio. Ratio means relative comparison between the two. It is not 3 centimeter and 5 centimeter. Like for example, if somebody tells you the ratio between the father's and the son's age is 2:1. 2:1 is the ratio. Comparison between the son's age and the father's age and the son's age is 2:1 means father's age is double of that of son's age. It doesn't mean that if I say father to son's age is 2:1, it doesn't mean that father is 2 years old and son is 1 year old. Only ratio is 2:1. So same thing happens here. Base and hypotenuse ratio is 3:5. So you cannot take base as 3. Base is not 3. Hypotenuse is not 5. Ratio is 3 and 5. That is why in this case, if you want to do it without diagram, then you have to take base 3x. Yeah, like for example, father and son 2:1 means I can take, let the father says be 2x, son says be 1x. So base is 3x, hypotenuse is 5x. Then perpendicular you have to do it something like this. Hypotenuse square minus base square. Then hypotenuse will be 5x whole square minus base will be 3x whole square. So under the root, so this will be 25x square minus 9x square under the root. So this is what is going to give you 16x square under the root, and square root of 16 is 4, square root of x square is x. So then the perpendicular becomes 4x. Even though without taking x also, you'll get the same answer. But that is not recommended. That is not advised. So if you don't want to use the diagram, triangle diagram, then you can do also the solving of that missing side, perpendicular base and hypotenuse, by taking x. But don't take base as 3 and hypotenuse 5. You can take it as 3x, 5x and solve. And perpendicular also will come in terms of x, and those x will get cancelled when you solve. Like for example here, perpendicular will come 4x, hypotenuse will come 5x. So x and x is cancelled, so answer will come the same. This is what you have to do in case you have questions with ratio between the two sides. Any one trigonometric ratio is given. Okay, now let's move on to the next type of question. Now this question is little different from the previous question, except for the fact it's very similar, except for the fact that here you can see one number has come in front of the trigonometric ratio. On the other side, fraction is not there. So then what we will do? This same thing is what I have copied, 5 cot theta equal to 12. Now as you can see, 5 is multiplied with cot, multiplication. Nothing is there in between 5 and cot, which is the multiplication. Transfer 5 on the other side, as it is multiplying, it will go that side and divide. So then you have cot theta is 12 by 5. Now this question becomes very similar to the previous question now. Now cot is the reciprocal of tan. Tan is p by b, so this becomes b by p. So b by p is 12 by 15. So make a diagram. Yes, if this is theta, because our angle is given as theta, then base is 12, base is this one, perpendicular is 5, perpendicular is 5. Then hypotenuse is missing, let's calculate hypotenuse. Here it is, hypotenuse formula, under root of p square plus b square. As you solve it, so it is coming 13, so I have mentioned here 13. So now I have all the three sides of the triangle. I have perpendicular also, I have base also, as well as also I have hypotenuse. Now, since the question is asking to find this, cosec theta plus sec theta. Cosec is the reciprocal of sine, sine is p by s, so this becomes s by p. Sec is the reciprocal of cos, cos is b by s, so this becomes s by b. Now from the diagram, now you can see hypotenuse is 13, perpendicular is 5. Then next one, hypotenuse again 13, base is what is 12. Taking the LCM of 5 and 12 is 60, 5 is going here 12 times, 5 into 12 is 60, 12 into 13 is 156. 12 will go here 5 times, 12 into 5 is 60, so 5 into 13 is 65. As you add these two, so it is giving you 221 by 60. As denominator is smaller, I am converting this into mixed fraction. So here it is, as you divide this, it is going here 3 times, so it is 3, remainder 41 by 60 is what is the answer for this one. Yeah, now let's go to the last type of question. Okay, now let us take a question where you don't have anything as a denominator. Cosec theta is given as root 5. Then how you will go about solving the question where you are given solve that or find the value of 2 minus sin square theta minus cos square theta. Okay, I am calling this cosec theta is root 5. Previously there was a number here, we transfer it on the right side, but now we don't even have a number. So what you have to do, if you don't have anything, cosec is the reciprocal of sine, sine is p by s, so cosec formula is s by p. So I wrote root 5. Now you can see that there is nothing in the denominator. Now if you don't have anything in the denominator, then you can consider the denominator as 1. Because 7, number 7, I can write this as 7 by 1, because 7 by 1 is also 7. So similarly root 5 by 1 is also root 5. So then I take hypotenuse as root 5 and perpendicular as 1. So let's make a diagram. If this is taken as theta, our angle as you can see is theta. If hypotenuse is root 5, yeah, hypotenuse is root 5, then perpendicular is 1. Then using Pythagoras Theorem, base equal to root of hypotenuse square minus perpendicular square. Yes, if you do, root 5 square is 5, root 5 into root 5 is 5 minus 1, 4, square root of 4 is what is 2. So base is what is 2. Then as you solve this, formula of sine is p by s, then the square, where we are squaring, cos, base by hypotenuse also we are squaring it. 2 minus perpendicular, if you see, here it is 1 and hypotenuse is root 5. So 1 by root 5, base is 2, and hypotenuse is root 5, as a square. 1 square is 1, root 5 into root 5 is 5. Same way 2 square is 4, root 5 into root 5 is 5. Taking 5 as an LCM, 1 will go here 5 to 5 times, 5 to 10. 5 will go 1, 1 into 1 is 1, 5 will go 1, 1 into 4 is 4. Minus 1 and minus 4 is minus 5, 10 minus 5 is 5. So 5 by 5 is what is going to give you 1. So let me discuss one question from your homework. Your homework is exercise 19. I am going to put the PDF page below in the description. You can download the page and see your homework. And you will be doing the homework, convert it in the form of PDF if you can, and then you will be sending it to me in my personal WhatsApp number. And my number, the personal WhatsApp number, mine, I am going to put it in your class 9 WhatsApp group. So from there, so what you can do is you can send me your homework. And please note that I am going to check all the homework. And in fact, I am also maintaining who is doing the homework and who is not. So I know by this time many of you have decided to take maths. Some of you might be dropping maths. So but then since I'll be maintaining your homework list, so when the school opens, so I'll go according to the homework submission, those who are doing. Yes, if there are problems, there are many questions in this exercise 19 which I'm giving as a homework. That's why I'm discussing so many questions. So all different types of questions I'm discussing. But still, if there are problems, you can ask me there in the WhatsApp group. First what you'll do is you'll try. It doesn't mean that the 60 of you will be asking me all 60 different questions in WhatsApp and I'll have to solve all the questions. Yes, you try first, maybe take around 4 or 5 days, try it. If you cannot, then maybe after 4 or 5 days of your trying, so whatever your queries are, whatever your doubts are, that I will be putting up there in that same group here, WhatsApp group. Alright, now let's see then. You may face a little problem because here you don't have numbers now. Given that sin theta is p by q, see, usually we are very comfortable with numbers, but here you have letters, alphabets. Find what is cos theta and sin theta, and your answer must be in terms of p and q. So the final answer should also be in terms of p and q. So what I'm going to do is, now sin theta, let me make a diagram. Theta again. Sin is, perpendicular by hypotenuse. So perpendicular, this is perpendicular by hypotenuse, that is small p by q. So perpendicular is this one, perpendicular is small p, and hypotenuse is q. So now I have two sides. I need one more. Base also is required. So if I want to find base is under root of hypotenuse square minus perpendicular square, shortcut. Hypotenuse, here q. This is q square minus perpendicular is p square under the root. So I cannot solve. Now don't write root of q square as q and root of p square. There is a minus sign in the middle, so you can't do it. This is what your base is. So that means the base is under root of, this base is under root of q square minus p square. This is base. So here you have base, this is perpendicular, this is hypotenuse. And the question is telling me, find what is cos theta plus sin theta. So let me write the formula. Cos is base by hypotenuse, sin is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now let me write down base. Base is this one, under root of q square minus p square is what is base? Yes, base. Over hypotenuse is q. Then plus perpendicular. If you look at perpendicular is p and hypotenuse again q. Now we are asked to add these two. Let's add. As you can see, denominator same, so LCM is q. This will go here 1 if this is root of q square minus p square. Then plus, you will again go 1 into p. What is p? Yes, this is the answer. So okay, I'll be expecting your homework. Do as many as possible. It's not necessary that all of you have to do all 100% of your this one, and do not copy from each other. Do not ask for maybe in WhatsApp only the answers of a particular question. If you can, solve it. If you cannot, whichever you cannot, so mark it. Question numbers you will be giving me. I'll try to solve all your doubts. Difficult question. If I feel it is difficult, or else all whatever questions are there in exercise, all different types of questions I have already discussed. Based on this questions which I have discussed, you will try to solve the question. Yeah, I know that I started with a chapter which is not very easy initially, especially since you are doing it for the first time. But I know that if you work a little bit, so I think you will find trigonometry very, very easy. Now, after this, we have a very interesting chapter of trigonometry, and that is what is called standard angles, trigonometric ratios of standard angles. That will be that chapter. I think many of you will find it very easy, more easier than this, and as well as also interesting, because there you have to have you should know the values of different standard angles. Okay, so today I think the video has become very long. So if I put this video as a single video, I think it will go very lengthy. So but maybe I'll cut this video into two parts, part 1 and part 2, so that it will not go very lengthy. Okay, thank you very much, and do not forget to send your homework if possible, because what happens is same thing happened in class 10. When I gave them my email, many of them flooded my email with photographs. Each and every page is photograph, and I couldn't actually handle so many photographs together in the email. That's why if you can, all those you can click the photo, convert into single PDF. There are apps which are available which you can do with that. So convert it into a single PDF file and send it. I'll check, and also I'll mark the one who are doing the homework. Now I am not sure who has taken math and who has not, but definitely later on I'll be knowing who has done and who has not done, and through that list. And I'll also be, maybe if possible, I'll also be uploading that list in your group, the one who has done the homework and who has not, who has submitted the homework and who has not. Okay, thank you very much.